All right. Well, thank you for joining Coffee with ClearScript. This is our inaugural podcast. I do want to welcome everybody and also welcome Miss Yalda Alcott from ClearScript PharmD. First and foremost, if just an introduction, if you're not familiar with ClearScript, we are a pharmacy benefit management company, PBM. We're not the big three PBM. Actually, we started our PBM back 19 years, almost 20 years ago. Born and raised out of Fairview, a nonprofit mission-driven health system. We actually created ClearScript to combat the practices of your typical for-profit, publicly traded PBM. So we're bringing that solution to the markets, employers that we serve, as well as TPAs and brokers. We partner with our industry-leading specialty pharmacy, Fairview, and cost-effectively manage drug spend with tailored solutions that result in optimal member well-being. And the goal of our little chat here and the Coffee with ClearScript podcast is to provide people in the health plan administration with current information on topics that could affect their pharmacy benefits. Our goal is to provide subject matter expert commentary from our pharmacists and clinical teams who can speak from experience to provide relevant and informed information on the topic at hand. Today is March 28th, 2024, and currently GLP-1s are a very hot topic in health plans due to their high price tag and overall coverage complexity. It is also a trendy topic that we see for our general population due to their currently promoted success in weight loss. So, first of all, welcome, Yalda.
Thank you, Kyle. Thanks for having me.
My first question for you, what is the current state of GLP-1s from a clinical perspective?
Good question, Kyle. So currently, GLP-1s are being used very frequently for type 2 diabetes and weight loss. This class of medications causes an increase in insulin output, and it reduces appetite and hunger, which ultimately then lowers blood sugar and causes weight loss. Additionally, just this month, a few weeks ago, the FDA recently approved a new indication for Wegovy, such that now Wegovy is approved to reduce the risk of major cardiovascular events in overweight or obese adults with cardiovascular disease. So this new indication really changes the way in which this medication can now be prescribed. So we expect to see an even further uptick in the utilization of Wegovy in the coming months. And while the immediate clinical effects of these medications can be very beneficial for patients, we're still also discovering the long-term effects of these medications. And until then, we know that once a patient discontinues this medication, they often gain the weight back within the first year, which diminishes much of its clinical effect. However, when paired with behavior management programs, these medications can address obesity better than any other medication that's currently available today. And we know that obesity is a key component of the most expensive health condition that exists today, which is type 2 diabetes and many, many other health conditions.
Question number 2, Yalda. What are some side effects of GLP-1s, and are they relatively common?
The most common side effects of this drug class involve the digestive system. So the frequency of these side effects is dependent on the medication itself and the dose, but the most common ones are GI related or related to gastrointestinal issues, such as nausea, which can occur in up to a third of patients, diarrhea, which has a similar incidence, vomiting, and constipation. There are ways to minimize these side effects, and to do that, patients taking these products increase their dose over a several week period to allow their body to adjust to the medication. These are the more common side effects that we hear about, but there's also some potentially serious but rare side effects, which include things such as acute pancreatitis, thyroid tumors, acute kidney injury, heart rate increases, and gallbladder disease. But again, these medications remain relatively new to market, so there is still more data being analyzed over the course of time to determine if there are other long-term effects.
Question number 3, and actually I was at a conference the last couple of days, and this comment or statistic came up. I read, heard, saw that nearly 2/3 of weight loss that is lost initially is gained back after stopping this medication. A, is this true? And if so, why?
Yes, unfortunately, it is true. It is true that 2/3 of the weight is gained back within 1 year of stopping the medication. And there are a few reasons for this. We know that only about 1/3 of those that use this medication remain compliant on it after 1 year. And then we see that that number continues to decline the following year and over more time. Some of those adherence barriers include things such as the side effects of the medication that we talked about, accessibility, such as shortage in supply, things of that nature, and of course, costs, because these medications typically cost over $900 per month if not covered by insurance. And then recently, studies showed that it's discontinued after therapy. And when they looked at the whys behind that, there were additional reasons as well. We know that this medication works by suppressing appetite and hunger, but when the medication's discontinued, that effect no longer remains in effect, and we become reliant on the lifestyle modifications and healthy habits that were built over time on the medication to maintain that weight loss. So it's very imperative for patients using these medications to implement lifestyle modifications in order to maintain that weight loss and the long-term benefits of it.
Good. Next question. I know from a sales perspective, I'm asked this frequently, and I know that for our current clients, our account services team is asked as well. But when do we expect GLP-1s to become available as generics?
You're right, Kyle. This is a question that everyone is asking because of the increased cost that we've seen with these medications. So everyone's hoping that the generics will come sooner than later. There are a number of medications in this class, and so the time frame in which they become generic varies. However, Victoza will be the first one to have its patent run out. So we expect to see generics for that one available later this year. However, that's currently only approved for diabetic use. So we expect to see also an increase in its off-label use. And what that means is that the generic might be used for weight loss as opposed to what it's approved for, which is diabetes. The first GLP-1 to be approved for weight loss that we expect to become available as a generic will be Saxenda. We expect that could happen in early 2026. And for those that are more common GLP-1s used for weight loss that are dosed weekly rather than daily, those we don't expect to see generics for until closer to 2031.
Okay. Y'all, to just kind of going down the same path with this question before our next question. So off-label use, was this a result of just members taking the medication for the condition of diabetes and then realizing, oh, weight loss occurs as a result? Or can you just briefly touch on what do you mean by off-label use?
Sure. Yep. You're exactly right. So what that means is these medications that are approved for only weight loss, the FDA has done studies to approve it for that indication, meaning that a prescriber can prescribe it for diabetes, and that has been approved by the Food and Drug Administration to be used that way. However, as we talked about, as a side effect of these medications, they also cause weight loss. So some patients use it what is called off-label, or in a way that's not technically approved by the Food and Drug Administration for that specific drug for weight loss. And that would be an off-label use for weight loss. Since this has been happening, there have been a lot of studies on these medications, and then new formulations have come out with the weight loss approval as well.
Okay. Last question for you, Yalda. What is ClearScript doing for their clients?
We are doing a number of things. So ClearScript allows the clients to choose whether or not they would like to cover GLP-1s for weight loss. So for those that choose to cover GLP-1s for weight loss, we offer utilization management programs, such as a prior authorization process. What this does, it allows the plan to restrict access to candidates that the medication is deemed appropriate for. Additionally, we have a behavioral management program available to our clients to help members manage their conditions, and it effectively engages members to control costs and improve outcomes, both for the member and the plan. With this program, real-time data and predictive analytics are used to identify members, equip plans with tools to improve overall population health, and help members adopt healthy and sustainable lifestyle modifications in order to help them benefit from these medications long-term.
All right. Yalda, thank you so much for your time today and for joining our first podcast, Coffee Chat with ClearScript. Thank you, everybody, for joining in and listening. And please like and share this video, and feel free to contact us with any questions or ideas on future topics. You can also email me at kyle.d.johnson@fairview.org. Once again, that's kyle.d.johnson@fairview.org. And I hope everybody has a great day.